From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight, Harriet Agbeyi.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, tears and wailing as Governor of Borno State visits internally displaced persons in Gombe and Adamawa states. TAN holds rally in Southwest, calls on President Jonathan to run for a second term as Governor Amechi challenges the army on peaceful polls in 2015. Police lament attack on training college in Gwaza, Borno State, says 35 officers are still missing. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel recommends tightening of the Ukraine-Russian border as part of measures to end the Ukrainian violence.
And on Business News tonight, Nigerian capital market operators frown at new operating guidelines, call for their implementation in phases.
And on Sports News tonight, Arsenal record comeback draw against Everton in the English Premier League.
An estimated 20,000 residents of Borno State displaced by the Boko Haram militants are taking refuge in camps in Gombe and Borno and Adamawa states, northeast Nigeria. The state governor, Kashim Shettima, who visited the displaced persons, commended the efforts of governments of Gombe and Adamawa states for their support of the thousands of the affected persons from his state. In what turned out to be a very emotional visit, the governor broke down in tears when he saw orphans and women whose loved ones had been killed by members of the Boko Haram sect.
These are some of the people displaced from communities in Borno State after attacks by members of the Boko Haram sect. They're taking refuge in this center in Mubi, Adamawa State. The governor of Borno State led a delegation to visit the camp. His arrival drew a lot of emotion from men and women present. And as the meeting went on, even the governor's delegation was moved to tears.
The committee there had Isaga Temoko, the Sikia Jamamu, committee chairman and members Mungode Mukokore, Bisaga Temoko, the Kokia Jamamu. Bugu da kari shi sarki mutane 500 suka zo mishi kofan fada da daddare a take ya shirya musu wajen sauki.
The delegation also met with the Emir of Mubi, who they thanked for his hospitality. The delegation also visited other camps in other states to inspect the facilities and promised that the government will continue to cater for their needs. He also called for support for the military in the fight to ensure lasting peace in the region.
Well, the Nigerian army has been urged to ensure that the outcome of the 2015 elections is not controversial by beefing up adequate security during the polls. This advice was given by the Rivers State Governor, Chibuike Amechi, when he received the Chief of Army Staff at the Government House in Port Harcourt, the state capital. The governor also urged the army to assist in tackling kidnapping in the state.
But recently, situation is going back to what it used to be in 2006, 2007, 2008. It is not the fault of the youth movement, I don't think they were blaming the army. They were saying that the politicians are back and they have brought back the gentlemen, I call them gentlemen. They say they are freedom fighters, the figures that are now what are they fighting for? I have argued that the reason for which they say the militants was set up was to be able to get the presidency of Nigeria. Now we have the presidency. And I have said that we're no longer here for the resource control. So if we are not controlling the resources, the best thing we can do for our people is to go back to our houses and allow the government in power and all of us who are government to govern the state. Currently, the voice of our youth, nobody is able to control them, nobody is arresting them. They are kidnapping as much as they want.
Governor of Rivers State, Chibuike Amechi. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has explained the reason behind the additional polling units in the country. According to the Chief Press Secretary to INEC, Mr. Kayode Idowu, the additional units will help decongest the number of voters who queue for long periods at a particular unit. He further explained that this will give the electorate more opportunity to cast their vote.
2011, we've been able to do what we call deduplication, by which we were able to identify multiple registrations, because unfortunately these tendencies are still with us. People go around polling units and register, even though it's a futile thing. So we've been able to eliminate those instances. That's what brought it down to 70 million. These polling units are really not creations coming out of the blue. We have what we call voting points now, based on the turnout of voters at the polling units on election day. We've operated by what we call the voting points, whereby it's a single polling unit, but in order to ease voting, so that people, given the kind of system we are using, the modified open ballot system where people queue up, you don't want 1,000 people queuing up on one single line. We break that up into what we call voting points. Many of these polling units we are talking about will just be institutionalizing these voting points as polling units, as they were.
Well, the Nigeria police says that 35 of its officers are missing following the attack on its training college near Gwoza in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. In a statement signed by the Force Public Relations Officer, DCP Emmanuel Ojukwu, the police explained that the search and rescue party launched immediately after the attack located and brought to safety some police officers in the college, but noted that 35 of them cannot be accounted for as of today. He added that since the incident, the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, has ordered the tightening of security around all police facilities in the country. Militants suspected to be Boko Haram members on August the 7th attacked the mobile police training camp for several hours. Well, the Nasarawa State Governor Tanko Almakura has been receiving well wishes from the state after surviving an impeachment plot by members of the State House of Assembly. The Fulani community in the state, under the aegis of their socio-cultural and political group, Miyetti Allah, have pledged their support for the governor. Among other things, Governor Almakura promised to uphold the mandate he's received from the people of the state.
Fulani community who have come specifically to solidarize with me and show me their support, love, and care over what has happened in the past few weeks. I wish to appreciate you most immensely for this gesture of assuring me and all the people of Nasarawa State that the Fulani community are in support of this administration. I also like to appreciate you for showing your love for me during our trying moments when few people came to disrupt activities of government through certain actions. But alas, the people have spoken. You have spoken. I have nothing to say other than to say this is your government, this is your mandate, and you have defended it, and I will assure you that I will carry out all that is in the covenant between me and you and the entire people of Nasarawa State.
Governor of Nasarawa State, Tanko Al-Makura. In part 2, after the break, the DSS warns of possible new strategy by terrorists following the theft of dresses belonging to Reverend Sisters in Kano. That's in a moment. Stay with us.